So this is my AI 420 communication project on Apple's history of AI in multi-touch systems and in predictive text for Dylan Cho. So we got to go back to the very beginning. These two subjects are closely linked by Apple's purchase of a company called Fingerworks and the development of the original iPhone. While Apple actually claims in 2007 that they invented multi-touch, original patents date back to Fingerworks, a company that Apple purchased back in 2001. In order to implement any multi-touch gesture system, you need to know where your fingers are. Now that looks real simple when your fingers are spread apart, but once they get closer together, things start to get a little fuzzy. And it can seem very troubling on how you would tell the different finger regions apart. The basic idea for differentiating these fingers is tracking them through time. We add the notion of a variable for each local maximum that you detect, and we try to track those through time. This can all seem very confusing when you look at diagrams and paragraphs, but basically all you have to know is that there is a knowledge base with various time steps. And well, I think these two diagrams kind of clearly show that it's more like you're tracking the movement of a local maximum to likely positions it would travel. And because of this, when your fingers move closer together, move farther apart, when you pinch, it's easy to kind of track those as almost like, balls bouncing off each other instead of two areas that are become one. Okay, now on to the fun part, iPhones. From this last part, just keep in your mind the idea of tracking a local maximum to where it should be. Ken's going to talk about how this eventually led to incorporating dictionaries.
It was clear to me after the first couple of demos that since the screen was so small and since there was no tactile feedback on the touch screen, that there was going to need to be some new element. Now, my first ideas were different shaped keys, different ways of highlighting the keys so that you would just move your fingers, but that was a failed idea. That didn't work. And so it was the dictionary and software assistance, the notion that some code running in the background, looking at your touches on the screen and trying to figure out, well, what did you mean? And so combining that notion with the notion of a dictionary and a lot of work, a lot of experimentation helped to produce that first result of autocorrection for the first iPhone.
Okay, so to pull the curtain back and sort of tie all this back to the idea of tracking things through their likely areas, we just need to understand that instead of tracking this like a ball moving through a physical space, we're tracking it as the area of letters moving through the space of valid words in a dictionary. Let's say I just typed FLU, and the keyboard was trying to discern which key I was trying to type next in this example. You can see F would be obvious because it's the only character that precedes it. So in the background, it actually expands the valid area for the F key to type it. I'll wrap it up on that note. Thanks and gig 'em.